Hold on, stop right there, because some hot news just dropped in Detroit, and you are not going to believe what's happening. No, seriously. I'm Marcus Johnson, and today I'm bringing you 4 bombshells that are shaking up the Lions fan base. We've got a rookie on fire, some serious speculation about an O-line addition, a veteran in the crosshairs, and a secret weapon that could become an unexpected ace in the secondary. It all connects back to one question. Is this finally the year for our redemption? But before we dive into the latest Lions news, I gotta ask you for one quick thing. We're on a mission to hit our first major milestone of 1,000 subscribers here on the channel. If you're all about that real hardcore Lions talk, go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell, and come be part of the Blue and Silver Nation with me. Look, if there's one name blowing up at Lions practice, it's rookie wide receiver Isaac Tesla, who's become the talk of the Motor City. The kid arrived with no hype, but every day he's proving he's not just another rookie trying to find a spot. He's commanding respect. Amon-Ra St. Brown, our leader of the aerial attack, didn't hold back his praise. He said the guy is tough as nails, that he goes up against safeties with no fear, fights for contested catches, and holds on tight, a rare thing for a rookie. St. Brown even joked, telling him to take it easy so he doesn't get hurt. But at the same time, he made it clear he loves that spirit because it's exactly the kind of mentality Dan Campbell values: dedication, sacrifice, and grit above all else. And it didn't stop there. In one of the most talked about plays of the preseason, Tesla went up between 2 defenders and secured a touchdown that had the entire field buzzing. The detail? The play came from Kyle Allen, and right after, David Shaw, our passing game coordinator, dropped that line that gives you chills. Against you and any human being on this planet, one-on-one, you will come down with the ball. Man, can you imagine hearing that from a coach who knows his stuff? That's not empty praise. That's a real bet on the kid's potential. To top it off, journalist Jordan Schultz, who watched the practices up close, said Tesla doesn't just impress with his sure hands, but also with his effort on every single snap, his strength as a run blocker, and his intelligence to adapt to the scheme. That's gold in Detroit, because Dan Campbell builds the team's identity on that DNA of effort and dirty work. It's no wonder the front office traded a draft pick to secure this guy, showing they already saw him as a diamond in the rough. Now think about it, fans. If this kid is already causing all this noise in August, what's going to happen when the ball starts flying for real? He's the kind of player who might not be a superstar right away, but who changes the face of an offense because he does the grunt work and still makes plays when it counts. And I'm telling you, you're only getting this kind of direct analysis here because the national media hasn't even begun to grasp the immediate impact Tesla can have. So stay tuned, because this could be the name that ignites the season. And hold on tight, because the next story brings a potential addition who could heavily impact the trenches. And if it happens, it'll change the balance of the offense. Hold up, because this move might not seem like a blockbuster at first, but it has the potential to be a game changer for the Lions' immediate future. I'm talking about Nick Harris, a center who was a starter in the league and is now a very real target for Detroit's front office. And why does this matter so much? Simple. We lost Frank Ragnow, a leader for years, and we also saw Kevin Zeitler leave, creating huge holes in the heart of the offensive line. And my friend, without protection in the trenches, Jared Goff becomes an easy target. The genius of bringing in Harris is the cost benefit, because the guy is coming from the open market with a 1-year deal and a price well below average, something around $2.4 million. For a team that needs depth but doesn't want to blow the cap, that's pure gold. Harris is known for being versatile, able to play center, and also fill in as a guard, which is a big plus for Hank Fraley, our O-line coach. He values players who aren't locked into just one position, especially with a long season ahead full of hits. Harris's experience in high-pressure situations, playing against tough defenses, gives him a maturity that fits perfectly with this revamped group. And look, it's not just about technique, it's about culture. Dan Campbell has been stressing this since he took over. He wants guys who buy into the process, who bring a team-first mentality, who sacrifice for the collective. Harris might not be a star, but he's the kind of hard-hat player who gives the quarterback confidence and can mentor the rookies. And here's another detail. With John Morton and Kelvin Shepard taking on more strategic roles, having an understated veteran who doesn't kill the cap but brings consistency could be the difference between a stalled offense and an offense flowing at the right rhythm. There's even chatter on fan forums about how this would be a smart, conservative, but solid move. The kind that might not make headlines today, but will make all the difference in December when every snap is critical. And I'm telling you, you're only getting this analysis here because a lot of people outside the team aren't even paying attention to this rumor. But mark my words, if Harris signs, Goff's protection gets an immediate boost and the offense breathes with more confidence. Now, stay sharp, because the next story brings a big-name veteran who could land in Detroit and change the face of the secondary, and you won't want to miss it. You know what's been happening behind the scenes that's got everyone in Detroit on high alert? Kendall Fuller's name is popping up as a possible target to bolster our secondary. Yes, the veteran who was cut by the Dolphins in March, precisely to create cap space, could fall into the Lions' lap and change the game. Fuller isn't just any player. He's got almost a decade in the league, has played in different systems, and has adapted well to all of them, whether he's covering in the slot or holding down the fort on the outside. And I'm telling you, that versatility is exactly what this roster needs, especially after the additions of John Morton and Kelvin Shepherd in key roles. Both have a lot to prove, and the defense can't afford to have holes exactly where the ball gets hot. Fuller has a reputation as a dedicated professional who brings leadership without needing to be loud, the kind of guy who mentors with his actions in practice with the small adjustments. And that fits perfectly with what Dan Campbell has built, this culture of effort, discipline, and total commitment. Plus, financially speaking, it wouldn't be crazy. The guy is on the market looking for a controlled contract, something fair that fits comfortably within the Lions' salary cap. And look, it's not just me who sees the fit. On the Blue and Silver Nation forums, people are already debating how Fuller could relieve pressure on starters who are still looking for consistency, allowing the defensive system to operate without fear of exposure on critical plays. Think with me. Playoffs, third down, heavy coverage against explosive wideouts. Do you prefer to bet only on the young guys or rely on someone who has been there and knows how to react? That's what we're talking about. Fuller might not be the player who makes national headlines, but he could be the addition who secures a game, who prevents a big play from the opponent, who gives the safeties peace of mind. And you're only getting this read here because many in the media are still treating this as a secondary rumor when, in reality, it could be a golden strategic move. So write it down. If this deal happens, the Lions could gain not only depth, but also extra confidence in a unit that has historically given us headaches. And hold on tight, because if that one got you excited, wait for the next one. The next name is being treated as Campbell's secret weapon and could be the true X factor of the season. Man, this one is huge, and very few people are giving it the attention it deserves. Akiem Robertson could be the Lions' true secret weapon in the secondary in 2025. And look, I'm not exaggerating. The guy already showed last year that he can be much more than just a nickel corner. When Carlton Davis went down with an injury, Robertson was thrown to the outside against elite receivers, and he didn't flinch. On the contrary, he held his own against a hot Vikings offense and proved he can handle any challenge. Now, with DJ Reed arriving as a perfect fit for the scheme and Terrion Arnold growing in his second year, the secondary rotation seems more solid, but it's Robertson who provides that rare flexibility to play inside and outside. And there's more. He's also become a monster against the run. According to PFF, from November onward, the guy has barely missed any tackles, showing the kind of consistency that gives a coordinator confidence. It might seem like a small detail, but on a defense like Detroit's, every inch counts, and having someone who's 5'9" but plays like he's 6'2" is something that messes with the opponent. And Dan Campbell knows this, so much so that he recently commented on the importance of having guys who can play multiple roles. It's almost like a puzzle where each piece can be moved without breaking the whole. Imagine in a decisive game when the defense needs to show something different. Being able to move Robertson to the slot or play him on the boundary without fear, that's priceless. Plus, the team's culture, that blue-collar grit identity, fits his style perfectly. Scrappy, intense, and zero fear of contact. The fan base is already commenting on forums that Robertson is the type of player you only realize you miss when he's gone. The one who doesn't shine in the highlights but is essential to the victory. And I'll go a step further. If the Lions' defense makes the leap everyone expects, you can bet his name will be mentioned as a key factor. You won't hear this analysis just anywhere because many still only focus on the biggest names, but here you get the full picture. And stay tuned, because if up until now we've talked about an explosive rookie, a boost in the trenches, a strategic veteran, and a secret weapon, in the next segment I'm going to put it all together and show you why this year could be different. And maybe, just maybe, redemption is finally knocking on our door. Whoa, take a deep breath, because after all that, you can feel that something is different in the air in Detroit. A rookie stealing the show, a potential solid addition to the trenches, a veteran who can stabilize the secondary, and a versatile warrior ready to become a secret weapon. It all points to a more mature, tougher team with a hunger to prove its worth. The question is, will we finally see the promise turn into reality this time? Comment below what you think, subscribe so you don't miss the next content, and remember, this is the home of the real Blue and Silver Nation.